Last summer, my uncle in Chicago told me something that broke my heart. He said, I dread going to bed now because I know I will wake up 2 or 3 times in the night. At 71, he was otherwise healthy, but each night he would stumble to the bathroom half asleep, afraid of falling, and then struggle to drift back to sleep again. By morning, his mind felt dull, his legs felt heavy, and the joy he once had for gardening or walking with friends slowly faded. He thought this was simply old age catching up with him. But the real reason was something he never suspected: the fruit he was eating after dinner. Today, I'm going to show you how 5 simple fruits can gently support your body, helping you rest through the night, and how 5 other fruits, though they look innocent, may actually be making things worse. These are changes you can try without medicine, without complicated routines, and without giving up the foods you love. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video from and what time is it right now? Leave a comment below. I can't wait to see your answers. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. If not, just give it a like. It really helps this channel grow because restful sleep should not be a memory from the past. It is something you still deserve starting tonight. Understanding nighttime urination. Why it happens more often. After 60. As we grow older, many of us begin to notice that sleep no longer feels as deep or as continuous as it once did. For countless seniors across the United States and India, the most common interruption comes from the urge to get up, walk across a dark room, and visit the bathroom. What seems like a small annoyance at first can gradually steal energy, cloud memory, and make mornings heavier than they should be. The science behind this problem is clearer than most people realize. After the age of 60, the body produces less of a hormone called vasopressin. This hormone normally signals the kidneys to slow down urine production during the night, allowing us to rest undisturbed. When vasopressin levels drop, the kidneys continue filtering fluid at the same pace as the day, quietly filling the bladder when the body should be asleep. Alongside this hormonal shift, the bladder itself begins to change. In younger years, a healthy bladder can comfortably hold around 15 to 17 ounces of urine, roughly 450 to 500 milliliters. But as the decades pass, the nerves inside the bladder become more sensitive, and its natural capacity shrinks to as little as 5 ounces, about 150 milliliters. That means even a small amount of fluid can send a signal to the brain that feels urgent, pushing you to wake up when your body still needs rest. Imagine the difference between a full glass and just half a teacup, yet the sensation is equally strong. This is why many older adults find themselves waking up 2 or 3 times each night, even if they have not been drinking large amounts of water. Food and drink play a quiet but important role as well. A warm cup of tea after dinner, a few slices of juicy orange, or even a bowl of watery soup can all act as hidden triggers. These fluids add volume to the bladder, and certain items like citrus fruits or caffeinated drinks may irritate the bladder lining, making it even more sensitive. What feels like a comforting evening ritual, a cup of green tea, a slice of pineapple, or a late-night glass of juice may quietly undo the chance of a full night's sleep. Adjusting these habits, even slightly, can make a bigger difference than most people expect. Too often, older adults believe this problem is nothing more than a punishment of age, something unchangeable and beyond their control. But the truth is more hopeful. In both suburban America And small towns in India, seniors who once woke up 3 or 4 times a night have found relief by shifting when they drink water, moving acidic fruits to earlier hours, or practicing gentle evening routines that calm the bladder. What feels like fate is often just habit, and habits can be adjusted. If you have been thinking, this is just how it is now, remember that your body is still listening. With the right choices, even simple ones, you can teach it to rest again. Nighttime urination may be common, but it does not have to define your nights. A quieter, more peaceful sleep is still possible, waiting just on the other side of awareness and small, steady change. The importance of fruit in the senior diet. Fruits have always been seen as nature's medicine, offering vitamins that protect the heart, minerals that keep blood pressure steady, and fibers that help digestion stay smooth. A ripe banana can calm the stomach after a heavy meal, while a fresh pear can quietly ease constipation that has been troubling for days. In many American households, a bowl of fruit sits proudly on the kitchen counter, while in Indian homes, families often serve seasonal fruit as a sign of care. These small choices carry far more weight than they appear because each bite offers nutrients that help the brain stay alert. The joints feel lighter and the heart beat with a steadier rhythm. Yet, here is something many people never consider. Not all fruit is equally kind to the body in the evening hours. The same orange that refreshes the mind at lunchtime may quietly disturb your bladder if eaten after dinner. A slice of pineapple may taste sweet and light, but for many older adults, it can trigger discomfort at midnight. As digestion slows with age, the timing of food becomes as important as the type of food itself. Many seniors, both in Florida and in Mumbai, share stories of eating healthy fruits in the wrong hours, only to find themselves waking at night restless and tired. This does not mean those fruits are harmful, but it does mean that wisdom in timing matters more as the years pass. The larger idea is simple but powerful. By choosing the right fruit and enjoying it at the right time, you can reduce the number of nightly bathroom trips, calm an overactive bladder, and protect the quality of your sleep. Imagine finishing your dinner at 6, enjoying a slice of papaya at 7, and then resting through the night without interruption. Picture your mornings beginning with genuine energy instead of dragging yourself from bed after broken sleep. The goal is not to stop eating fruit, but to understand which ones bring peace to your body and which ones quietly disrupt it. This is not about restriction or fear. It is about making thoughtful adjustments that respect the way your body changes with age. So, dear friend, remember this. Your nights do not need to be ruled by restless trips and heavy eyes. With a little knowledge and a few gentle changes, you can take back control. The fruit on your table still has the power to heal, but it must be chosen with care and consumed at the right time. This small awareness can be the key to restoring peaceful sleep and brighter mornings, no matter whether you live in a quiet home in Ohio or a busy street in Delhi. The choice is in your hands, and the results can be felt in your nights, your mornings, and the strength of your days. Fruit number one to eat: banana. Among the many fruits available in both American supermarkets and Indian bazaars, the humble banana often gets overlooked. Yet, this simple fruit carries a quiet power that can make a real difference for older adults who struggle with nighttime urination. Bananas are naturally rich in potassium, a mineral that supports muscle relaxation throughout the body. For the bladder, this means fewer spasms and less urgency when only a small amount of urine has collected. When muscles can rest, the brain receives fewer false signals in the middle of the night, and sleep can continue without interruption. Doctors often remind their patients that potassium not only steadies the heartbeat but also helps calm the smooth muscles of the urinary system, allowing seniors to feel more at ease when lying down to rest. Beyond their mineral content, bananas also have another quiet advantage. They are naturally low in acid, making them gentle on the bladder lining. For older adults, this is important because a bladder that becomes more sensitive with age reacts strongly to acidic foods and drinks. An orange or a tomato might trigger irritation at night, but a ripe banana soothes instead of stings. Eating fruit should bring comfort, not hidden discomfort, and bananas offer that soft, dependable balance. Many seniors describe them as easy to chew, easy to digest, and easy to trust. At a stage of life when so many foods seem to come with warnings, it is reassuring to know there is one option that feels both safe and nourishing. Timing, however, matters just as much as choice. Nutrition experts suggest enjoying a banana around 5 in the evening or about an hour after dinner. This gentle window allows the body to process the fruit without pushing too much fluid into the bladder right before bedtime. Taken earlier in the day, the energy may fade by night. Taken too late, it may disturb sleep. But eaten in that sweet spot of time, a banana becomes not just a snack, but a small tool for protecting restful sleep. It is a rhythm many seniors can follow easily, adding the fruit to an afternoon cup of tea or enjoying it quietly after supper while reading the evening paper. Mr. Harris, a 65-year-old retired teacher from California. For years, he accepted waking twice every night as part of aging, and he began each morning with dullness in his mind and heaviness in his legs. When his doctor gently suggested a change in evening habits, he added a ripe banana to his diet at 6 o'clock each evening. Within just 2 weeks, he noticed something surprising. He was waking only once during the night, and some nights not at all. The difference was not dramatic at first, but the relief was steady. He told his daughter, "I never thought something so small could give me back my mornings." His story is not unusual. It is a reminder that small mindful choices can restore peace to the body in ways we do not expect. So if you find yourself restless at night, consider this gentle fruit. The banana may not look like medicine, but it works quietly, like one supporting your body without side effects. And most importantly, it brings back the possibility of waking to a brighter morning with strength in your step and clarity in your mind. Sometimes the solution to a difficult problem is not a pill, but a piece of fruit chosen at the right time. Fruit number 2 to eat. Papaya. For many older adults, digestion becomes a daily concern that quietly shapes the rhythm of life. Meals that once felt light and easy may now linger in the stomach, creating pressure that radiates into the bladder and disrupts sleep. This is where papaya, often underestimated as just a sweet tropical fruit, offers real support. Papaya contains a natural enzyme called papain, which gently assists the stomach in breaking down proteins and easing the digestive load. When food moves smoothly through the system, there is less bloating, less upward pressure on the bladder, and fewer false signals urging you to wake in the night. Doctors frequently note that when digestion improves, nighttime urination often decreases, not because the bladder has changed, but because the body as a whole feels calmer. Papaya also brings another quiet advantage. It has a naturally mild alkalizing effect on the body, meaning it helps reduce excess acidity in urine. For a bladder that has grown more sensitive with age, this matters greatly. Acidic urine can irritate the lining of the bladder wall, creating the sensation of urgency even when very little fluid has collected. By making urine slightly less acidic, papaya creates a friendlier environment inside the body. Seniors who often struggle after eating citrus fruits or tomatoes may find papaya a soothing alternative, one that satisfies the desire for something fresh and sweet without stirring up discomfort later in the night. In a way, papaya acts like a cushion, softening the rough edges of digestion and protecting the fragile calm that sleep requires. Of course, timing and portion make all the difference. Experts recommend enjoying a slice of ripe papaya, around 5 to 6 ounces, about 150 grams in the early evening or roughly an hour after dinner. Taken too close to bedtime, even a gentle fruit can add fluid and cause the bladder to stir. Taken too early in the day, its benefits may fade by night. But, enjoyed in that window of time, papaya becomes more than a dessert. It becomes a small act of self-care. Some families in India serve papaya after their evening meal as a way to settle the stomach, and many American nutritionists quietly echo the same advice. It is a habit that requires no medicine, no cost beyond a trip to the market, and no sacrifice of taste. Let me share the story of the Patel family in New Jersey, originally from Gujarat. Their father, aged 72, had been waking up 3 times every night, often returning to bed, frustrated and exhausted. His daughter noticed his habit of eating oranges late in the evening, believing them to be a light and healthy snack. After reading about papaya, she suggested a change. He replaced his orange slices with a small serving of ripe papaya after dinner. Within 2 weeks, he reported a surprising difference. He was now waking only once a night, and some nights not at all. His mornings became brighter, his energy steadier, and even his mood softened. "It feels like my body has forgiven me," he joked gently at the breakfast table. Stories like his remind us of something important. The body may change with age, but it still responds to care. By choosing foods like papaya at the right time and in the right way, seniors can protect both digestion and sleep. It is not about restriction, it is about wisdom. And with small adjustments, restful nights are not a distant memory, but a real possibility waiting to be reclaimed. Fruit number 3 to eat. Pear. When searching for fruits that are both gentle and effective for seniors, the pear deserves special attention. Unlike citrus fruits that carry high levels of acid and often irritate an aging bladder, pears are naturally mild and low in acidity. Their soft sweetness and delicate texture make them easy to chew, easy to digest, and kind to the sensitive tissues that line the bladder. For older adults who often feel a sudden urge to urinate after eating acidic foods like oranges or tomatoes, a ripe pear can offer comfort instead of discomfort. Choosing fruits that are less acidic is not simply about avoiding irritation, it is about protecting sleep, because a calm bladder at night allows the body to rest without unnecessary interruptions. Pears also bring another valuable gift. They contain a natural compound called sorbitol, a sugar alcohol that gently draws water into the intestines and helps relieve constipation. Many seniors quietly struggle with irregular bowel movements, and while they may not connect this problem to nighttime urination, the two are linked. A backed up intestine presses against the bladder, creating a false sense of fullness and increasing the urge to get up at night. By easing constipation, pears indirectly reduce pressure on the bladder, helping it remain calm until it is truly full. This is one of those subtle but important ways in which diet can shape daily comfort. A fruit that keeps the digestive system moving smoothly can also help reduce the number of nighttime trips to the bathroom. Timing, as always, plays a critical role. Nutritionists often recommend enjoying pears in the late afternoon or early evening when the body is beginning to slow down but not yet preparing fully for sleep. Eating a pear at this time allows the body to absorb its fibers and natural sugars without adding excess fluid too close to bedtime. For many seniors, pairing a pear with a light supper or enjoying it as an evening snack can create a gentle balance. It satisfies the desire for something sweet, supports digestion, and helps calm the bladder before nightfall. Taken too late, even a mild fruit may add unnecessary fluid, but enjoyed at the right time, the pear becomes a steady ally in protecting sleep. Mrs. Johnson, a 70-year-old grandmother living in Texas. For years, she accepted waking 3 times each night as part of aging, often shuffling back to bed with tired legs and a heavy mind. Her daughter noticed her habit of eating oranges after dinner and suggested she try a ripe pear instead. At first, she doubted such a small change could matter. But within 2 weeks, her nightly wake-ups dropped from 3 to just 1. She described the difference with quiet amazement. "I feel like I have my mornings back." For her, the pear was more than a fruit. It was a simple key that unlocked deeper rest, steadier energy, and brighter days. Stories like hers remind us that aging does not mean surrendering control. With small, thoughtful choices, like reaching for a pear instead of a citrus fruit, we can shape the quality of our nights and our mornings. The bladder may become more sensitive with time, but it still responds to kindness. And sometimes that kindness looks as simple as choosing a fruit that respects the body's needs. For seniors searching for hope in the middle of restless nights, the pear offers both nourishment and peace. Fruit number 4 to eat. Watermelon. Watermelon is remembered as a symbol of summer, a fruit shared at family picnics or enjoyed on the porch during warm evenings. Yet, beyond its refreshing sweetness, watermelon holds a quiet secret for older adults. It is rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that supports prostate health in men and helps reduce irritation in the bladder for both men and women. Lycopene works by protecting delicate tissues from inflammation, which often becomes more common with age. For seniors who worry about frequent urination linked to prostate enlargement or a sensitive bladder, watermelon can be more than a treat. It can be a gentle source of protection. Choosing foods that lower irritation helps the body rest more easily, and watermelon fits beautifully into that role when consumed wisely. However, timing makes all the difference. Watermelon may be healthy, but eaten at the wrong hour, it can turn into a hidden disruptor of sleep. Because of its high water content, consuming large amounts in the evening almost guarantees that the bladder will fill quickly, pushing you to wake during the night. Experts recommend enjoying watermelon during the day, ideally before 2 in the afternoon, when the body is more active and better able to process extra fluids. Eaten earlier, it hydrates the body, supports digestion, and allows the bladder to empty before bedtime. Eaten later, it can quietly undo hours of potential rest. This is one of those small but vital adjustments that can transform a food from a problem into a solution. Portion size matters as well. For seniors, a small bowl of 6 to 7 ounces, about 180 to 200 grams, is usually enough to enjoy the benefits without overloading the system. More than that, especially close to the evening, may lead to discomfort or unnecessary wake ups. Think of it not as restriction, but as balance. Just as a gentle walk is better than a strenuous marathon. At this stage of life, a modest serving of watermelon provides comfort without burden. Pairing it with a light lunch or enjoying it as a midday snack can bring satisfaction without the side effects of nighttime trips. It is less about denying yourself and more about learning when and how to enjoy what you love. Mr. Carter, a 68-year-old retired postman living in Ohio. For years, he ended his dinner with a few large slices of chilled watermelon, believing it would help him sleep cool and refreshed. Instead, he found himself waking 3 times each night, often exhausted the next morning and reluctant to go on his daily walks. At his daughter's suggestion, he shifted his habit, moving his watermelon from evening to early afternoon. The change seemed small, but the results were striking. Within 2 weeks, he was sleeping nearly through the night, waking only once, and sometimes not at all. He told his family, "I never realized timing mattered more than the fruit itself." His simple adjustment returned energy to his mornings and peace to his nights. Watermelon shows us that health is not only about what we eat, but when we eat it. For seniors managing nighttime urination, the key is not avoidance, but awareness. By choosing a small portion in the bright hours of the day, you can enjoy its sweetness while protecting your sleep. This fruit, when respected and timed, well becomes not just a taste of summer, but a gentle tool for reclaiming rest. Fruit number 5 to eat. Guava guava is often overlooked in American kitchens, but in India, it is considered a household staple, valued for its freshness and quiet strength. What makes guava so unique for seniors is its impressive amount of vitamin C, often higher than citrus fruits like oranges or lemons, yet with far less citric acid. This balance means it delivers powerful immune support while remaining gentle on the bladder. For older adults, where even a small amount of acidity can irritate sensitive tissues, guava provides a safe alternative that nourishes without triggering unnecessary urgency. At a stage of life where every bite matters, knowing there is a fruit that supports health without hidden consequences can feel both comforting and empowering. Beyond vitamins, guava offers another advantage that quietly matters for bladder health. It contains natural compounds with mild anti-inflammatory properties that soothe irritation in the urinary tract. For seniors who often experience discomfort, burning sensations, or frequent urges, this gentle effect can make a noticeable difference. Reducing inflammation means reducing false alarms, giving the bladder more patience to wait until it is truly full. While medicines can also target inflammation, the idea of easing it through food feels less invasive and more sustainable. For many older adults, choosing guava is a way of telling the body, "I am still caring for you in natural ways." It transforms a simple fruit into a small act of healing. As with most healthy habits, timing and combinations shape the results. Nutritionists recommend enjoying guava between 4 and 5 in the afternoon when the body can process its nutrients without adding too much fluid before bedtime. Eating it at this hour allows digestion to finish smoothly and the bladder to remain calm at night. Another important point is to avoid pairing guava with milk, a common but misguided tradition in some households. The combination may slow digestion and create discomfort, undoing the very benefits guava is meant to provide. Instead, enjoy it, plain slightly ripe, but not overripe and at room temperature. Taken this way, guava becomes a reliable friend that fits easily into daily life. Mrs. Nair, a retired school teacher in Kerala, who quietly endured nightly discomfort for years. At 70, she often felt a burning sensation during urination and assumed it was just part of aging. She would wake 2 or 3 times every night, exhausted by morning, and yet too embarrassed to speak openly about it. At the suggestion of her granddaughter, she began eating one medium guava every afternoon around 4. Within weeks, she noticed the burning sensation easing, and her nights grew calmer. She began sleeping 5 or 6 hours at a stretch, something she had not experienced in years. With a gentle smile, she said, "I never thought such a small fruit could give me back my rest." Her story is a reminder that even quiet natural choices can restore dignity and peace. Guava shows us that aging does not have to mean surrendering comfort or resigning ourselves to restless nights. By choosing fruits that respect the body's changing needs, we can still shape our health and protect our independence. For seniors in America and India alike, guava stands as a simple but powerful example. It teaches us that healing does not always come from a prescription. It can also come from a small piece of fruit eaten at the right time with love and awareness. When we step back and look at these 5 fruits together, a clear pattern begins to emerge. Choosing the right fruit at the right time can mean the difference between a restless night filled with interruptions and a peaceful stretch of uninterrupted sleep. A calm bladder supported by gentle foods allows the body to rest more fully, leaving the mind clearer and the mornings brighter. These are not dramatic changes, but they create a quiet strength that matters more with every passing year. Unlike citrus fruits or acidic snacks that may irritate the bladder, lining the fruits we have discussed, banana, papaya, pear, watermelon, and guava, are mild, soothing, and kind to the digestive system. They reduce pressure, ease sensitivity, and help the body find balance again. Seniors who once thought all fruit was equally healthy often find comfort in realizing that some fruits truly work with the body instead of against it. The shift is not about eating more, but about eating more wisely. And here lies the encouraging message. Sometimes, better health does not require new pills, complicated regimens, or expensive treatments. Instead, it begins with a single choice at the dinner table. Imagine replacing an evening orange with a small slice of papaya, or trading a late-night bowl of grapes for a pear at 4 in the afternoon. These are choices that anyone can make, regardless of where they live or what resources they have. For seniors in New York, as well as in New Delhi, the principle remains the same. The body is still listening, still ready to respond to kindness. By guiding it gently with thoughtful food choices, you can reclaim calmer nights and steadier mornings. Remember, healing does not always come from the medicine cabinet. Sometimes it waits quietly in a piece of fruit, chosen with care. Fruit number 1 to avoid. Citrus fruits. Citrus fruits, like oranges, lemons, and tangerines, are often celebrated as symbols of health, packed with vitamin C and refreshing flavor. Yet, for seniors, especially those who struggle with nighttime urination, These fruits can quietly create more problems than they solve. The reason lies in citric acid, a natural compound that lowers the pH of urine and makes it more acidic. For a bladder that has grown more sensitive with age, this added acidity can irritate the lining, creating the sensation of urgency even when very little urine has collected. What seems like a healthy evening snack can end up forcing you awake at 1 or 2 in the morning, cutting short the precious deep sleep your body needs. The effect is easy to see in real life. Imagine finishing dinner at 7, pour in a glass of orange juice around 8, and then heading to bed with the hope of resting well. Within a few hours, the bladder sends a strong signal, not because it is full, but because it feels irritated. Many seniors report waking 2 or even 3 times on nights when they consume citrus late in the evening. It is frustrating because the fruit feels healthy, and yet the result is a restless night and a heavy morning. Over time, this pattern quietly erodes energy, mood, and confidence, making each day feel more difficult to manage. The solution is not to eliminate citrus entirely, but to respect the timing of when it is eaten. Experts suggest moving oranges or tangerines to the earlier part of the day, ideally before lunch. Taken at midday, these fruits still deliver their vitamin C and refreshing sweetness, but the body has time to process the acidity before nightfall. This simple adjustment allows seniors to enjoy the benefits of citrus without paying the price of lost sleep. Think of it as guiding the body, gently giving it what it needs at a time when it can handle it best. Mrs. Thompson, a 69-year-old retired librarian living in Florida. She cherished her evening ritual of peeling a fresh orange after dinner, believing it helped her digest. But night after night, she found herself waking at 1, then again, at 3, stumbling to the bathroom in frustration. At her doctor's advice, she shifted her orange to lunchtime instead. Within a week, she noticed the difference. She was sleeping almost through the night, waking only once, and sometimes not at all. Her mornings grew lighter, and she told her granddaughter, "I feel like the fog has lifted." For her, the orange was not the enemy, its timing was. Stories like hers remind us that small adjustments often bring the greatest relief. Citrus fruits are not harmful in themselves, but for aging bodies, they require more thoughtful timing. By enjoying them earlier in the day, seniors can still savor their benefits without sacrificing the peace of the night. It is a hopeful reminder that health is often about awareness, not deprivation, and that even beloved fruits can fit into life when chosen wisely. Fruit number 2 to avoid. Pineapple. Pineapple is often loved for its bright sweetness and refreshing taste. Yet for seniors, it can quietly bring challenges when eaten at the wrong time. This fruit is rich in bromelain, a natural enzyme that helps break down protein and supports digestion, but it also stimulates the intestines. For an aging body, this stimulation can create extra activity in the gut, which in turn puts pressure on the bladder. That pressure does not wait until the bladder is truly full. Instead, it sends signals of urgency to the brain, often leading to unwanted trips to the bathroom during the night. What feels like a harmless slice of fruit after dinner may in reality be the reason sleep is cut short. When eaten late in the evening, pineapple's high water content and digestive stimulation combine to increase the likelihood of early nighttime awakenings. Seniors who enjoy pineapple as a dessert often find themselves needing to urinate within a few hours of lying down, even when the bladder is not holding much. Over time, This repeated pattern of broken sleep begins to erode confidence, making bedtime feel less like a moment of rest and more like the start of another long, restless cycle. Many older adults, both in America and India, quietly accept this disruption as just aging. But the truth is that habit and timing play a far bigger role than age alone. The good news is that pineapple does not need to be abandoned altogether. Experts suggest shifting it to the morning when the body is active, metabolism is higher, and the bladder has time throughout the day to empty fully. Enjoyed at breakfast or as a midday snack, pineapple provides vitamins, hydration, and digestive support without interfering with sleep. This simple change can transform the fruit from a problem into a benefit, giving seniors the freedom to enjoy it while protecting their nights. Choosing when to eat a fruit can be just as important as choosing whether to eat it at all. Pineapple remains a healthy fruit, but for seniors who value uninterrupted rest, the morning is its rightful place. By respecting the body's changing rhythms, you can still enjoy the foods you love and protect the sleep you deserve. Fruit number 3 to avoid. Grapes. Grapes are often seen as one of the easiest and most delightful snacks, sweet in flavor and light in texture. Yet, for seniors, especially those struggling with nighttime urination, grapes can quietly cause trouble when eaten in the wrong way. The natural sugars in grapes ferment easily in the digestive tract, creating gas and bloating. This buildup of pressure inside the abdomen does not stop at the stomach or intestines, it also pushes against the bladder. Even when the bladder is only partially full, this pressure can create the false sense of urgency that wakes older adults from sleep. What seems like a handful of harmless fruit before bed may actually be the hidden reason for restless nights. The outer skin of grapes, while rich in fiber and antioxidants, can also present a challenge for aging digestion. Seniors often experience slower gut movement, which makes grape skins harder to process. Undigested skins can linger in the intestines, producing more gas and discomfort, and this discomfort often translates into additional pressure on the bladder. Many older adults are surprised to learn that it is not just the fluid content of food that affects nighttime urination, but also how easily that food is digested. With grapes, the sweetness comes quickly, but the consequences may quietly build up hours later when the body should be resting. Eating grapes in the evening only makes these issues worse because they contain both high water content and fermentable sugars. Consuming large amounts at night increases the likelihood of bloating and bladder pressure, just as the body is trying to wind down. Seniors who snack on chilled grapes while watching television or after dinner often find themselves waking up once, twice, or even 3 times in the night. The connection may not be obvious at first, but the pattern becomes clear when grapes are removed from the late-day diet. This can feel frustrating because grapes are seen as healthy, yet the body's changing rhythms demand a different approach. That grapes do not need to be eliminated entirely. Experts suggest enjoying them in moderation during the day, ideally around lunchtime when the digestive system is more active and the body has hours ahead to process fluids and sugars. Removing the skins, or at least peeling part of them, can also ease digestion for older adults. And keeping the portion small, a handful instead of a bowl, can reduce fermentation and pressure on the bladder. With these adjustments, seniors can still enjoy the sweetness of grapes without sacrificing restful nights. In the end, the lesson is simple. Grapes remain a healthy fruit, but their timing and portion matter greatly for older adults who value their sleep. By shifting them to midday, peeling away some of the difficult skin, and keeping servings modest, you can protect your nights while still savoring what you love. Health at this stage of life is less about giving things up and more about finding the right rhythm. And when that rhythm is respected, even something as small as a grape no longer disturbs the peace of your rest. Fruit number 4 to avoid. Mix citrus juices. For many seniors, a colorful glass of mixed citrus juice looks like the perfect way to end a meal or stay refreshed in the evening. Yet, what seems healthy on the surface may quietly disrupt sleep, especially for those already dealing with nighttime urination. When several sour fruits like oranges, lemons, and kiwi are blended together, the acidity increases dramatically, lowering the pH of urine. For a bladder that becomes more sensitive with age, this surge in acidity can feel irritating, sending signals of urgency long before the bladder is truly full. What feels like a light, healthy drink may actually become the reason for repeated trips to the bathroom at night. There is also the issue of sugar. In juice form, sugar from fruits enters the bloodstream more quickly than when the fruit is eaten whole. This rapid absorption not only raises blood sugar but also places extra pressure on the kidneys, which then push more fluid into the bladder. Because juice is liquid, it bypasses the slower digestion of whole fruit, filling the bladder faster and more forcefully. Seniors who enjoy a glass of citrus blend in the evening often find themselves waking every few hours, frustrated and drained, without realizing the cause lies in that one seemingly harmless choice. A real-life example brings this problem to light. A retired couple in New Jersey, both in their late 60s, shared how they loved drinking a mix of orange and kiwi juice after dinner. They believed it was lighter than dessert and good for their health. Yet both of them began waking 2 or 3 times each night, unable to enjoy deep rest. At first, they blamed aging and even considered sleeping pills. But when the doctor suggested skipping the juice at night, the results were remarkable. Within 1 week, both noticed longer stretches of uninterrupted sleep. The change was not a complicated treatment, just a shift in evening habits. Seniors do not need to give up the comfort of a warm evening drink. Instead of citrus juices, try a glass of warm water with a slice of pear in the late afternoon, or sip on gentle herbal teas like chamomile or tulsi after sunset. These alternatives provide warmth, hydration, and calmness without irritating the bladder or overloading it with fluid. By making this small change, seniors can still enjoy a soothing ritual while protecting their rest. Mixed citrus juices remind us of a simple truth: not everything that looks healthy works well for the aging body, especially at night. The key is not to avoid all fruits, but to respect timing and form. Whole fruits in the daytime give strength, while heavy acidic juices at night only steal sleep. With awareness and small adjustments, restful nights and energetic mornings are still within reach, waiting behind wiser choices. Fruit number 5 to avoid. Raw tomatoes. Tomatoes are widely celebrated as a healthy addition to salads, sandwiches, and light evening meals. But for seniors, they can present an unexpected challenge. Raw tomatoes contain oxalic acid, a natural compound that may irritate the bladder lining. For younger adults, this irritation often goes unnoticed, but for an older bladder that has grown more sensitive with time, it can trigger signals of urgency. What feels like a refreshing and healthy salad before bed may quietly set the stage for multiple awakenings during the night, leaving the body tired and the mind clouded the next morning. Many older adults, both in India and the United States, enjoy fresh tomato slices with dinner or mixed into salads late in the evening. While the intention is good, the result can be frustrating. The acidity of raw tomatoes, combined with their natural fluid content, can stimulate the bladder just as the body is preparing to rest. Seniors often describe a familiar pattern. They eat a salad with raw tomato at 7 or 8, go to bed around 10, and find themselves waking again at 1 or 2. This broken sleep not only drains energy but also adds to the quiet worry of losing independence, since every trip to the bathroom carries the risk of falls in the dark. The solution does not mean abandoning tomatoes entirely, since they remain rich in nutrients like lycopene and vitamin C. The key is to change the form and timing. Cooking tomatoes reduces the impact of oxalic acid and makes the nutrients easier to absorb. Adding them into soups, stews, or lightly sautéed vegetables during the day provides the benefits without the bladder irritation. Eating them earlier allows the body to process the acids and fluids well before nightfall. In this way, seniors can still enjoy the flavor and health value of tomatoes while protecting their sleep. Eat raw tomatoes at night may quietly disturb rest, but with small adjustments, their benefits can still be enjoyed. For seniors who long for deeper, more peaceful nights, remembering when and how to eat tomatoes can be one more step toward reclaiming comfort and control. We have now walked through a journey of understanding, exploring 5 fruits that can protect your nights and 5 fruits that may quietly disturb them. Bananas, papayas, pears, watermelons, and guavas offer calm, gentle support for your bladder and digestion, especially when eaten at the right time. Citrus fruits, pineapples, grapes, mixed, citrus juices, and raw tomatoes, though healthy in other ways, can create irritation or pressure that leads to restless nights. Knowing this difference gives you the power to guide your choices with clarity and confidence. The important message is that peaceful sleep is not a luxury reserved for the young, but a right every senior deserves. Too often, older adults silently accept broken nights, heavy mornings, and the creeping worry that nothing can be done. Yet, your body is still listening, still able to respond when treated with care. By respecting its changing rhythms and choosing wisely, you can reclaim the kind of rest that strengthens memory, lightens mood, and protects independence. Sleep is not a gift you have lost. It is a treasure you can still protect. So, here is my invitation to you. Try making these small adjustments for just 3 days. Replace the evening orange with a slice of papaya. Enjoy grapes at lunch instead of after dinner, or savor guava in the afternoon instead of milk at night. Notice how your body feels, how many times you wake, and how your mornings change. Then share your experience by leaving the word hope in the comments, because your story may inspire someone else searching quietly for relief. And until we meet again, may your nights be peaceful, your mornings full of energy, and your days guided by the quiet strength of wise choices. You deserve nothing less.